All right, stepped outside here on the back patio and getting ready to get this thing going. And you see the coals are getting good and hot in that chimney starter. Some people use different things to get it going. I just, I didn't have any newspaper, which is what most people put. I just grabbed, 3 or 4 paper towels and lit those, and it looks like it's working fairly decently. I tell you, I got this thing at Walmart, again, just like I got the grill, and I was kind of doing a little research on those because I saw some. This one was only $14.99, which was a steal in my opinion. But while I was there, excuse me, I got it at Lowe's. I didn't get this one at Walmart, but Walmart had it for the same price. I just happened to be in Lowe's taking something back, and I decided to go ahead and get this one instead of the one from Walmart. But again, they're the exact same. Weber is the name brand. And, one thing that I always wondered why, they had some of these things for, $8, $9, and then they had some for 14 like this one, and some a little bit more expensive with, with bigger name brands. I went with the Weber because of the durability of it. It was thick, it was sturdy, it's got a nice handle on it. You can get one for $9, $10, but it is really thin and flimsy. So, didn't want to go that route and have some issues with that later on. So, but you can see this thing is smoking up pretty good. It kind of, I don't know if you can see on the side here where those coals are getting good and hot on the inside there. So, looking forward to getting those in and seeing here. And seeing we got the pit with the modifications on it here. So, getting ready to get this thing going. Also, too, guys, want to send a big shout out to the 2 guys who commented before about the heat plate on the smoker box. I changed that around to get it right. Just in a rush here and went a little too quick and didn't put that on correctly. But got that straightened out, and looks like everything else is good to go. Oh, the tray down at the bottom as well. I think when I seasoned it, I didn't have that tray. I had it on the other compartment. But we got all that squared away now. So hopefully we'll be smoking some good chickens here soon, and we'll be catching up with you guys. I also got another little tool I'm going to show you guys that I saw online as well that I was able to get with the savings I got from the grill. It's one of these, I think Thermo-Pro is the name of the thermostat that measures the temperature at the grates. It's wireless. You can stick it in a piece of meat to monitor the meat too. So looking forward to trying that out. But we'll keep you guys posted and see you guys back here shortly. All right, guys. While we're waiting on the coals to continue to get hot here, I wanted to show you this little Thermo-Pro. And again, this is going to be my first time using it, so you better get a review from me from this as well. Kind of watched a lot of reviews online about different things to monitor your temp, and really like this Thermo-Pro for a lot of the functions that it has. Very simple to operate, and I've already put this one together. Got the probes in it, and this is the probe that you would put to measure the temperature at the grate. And this one is used to measure the temperature of your meat. And all you do is, click this thing and it comes on. One thing that I love about it is how accurately it measures the temperature. And I tell you, it's really funny because we keep our air conditioner set on 75 inside the house. And that really works well for us. Feels, it's nice and comfortable. And this thing is almost to the T measuring the temperature in here. You can see it keeps flashing from 75 to 76. The other unit, when you turn it on, and this is the one that you'd actually keep with you here. Once it comes on and it starts flashing here, usually it syncs itself in with the other unit. And, once it starts to send out that signal, and very shortly it gives you a temperature reading, and you keep this one with you. Let's see, I'm sorry, hit the wrong, there we go. You keep this one with you, and this one is the one that can help you monitor the temperature remotely. So you leave the smaller one at the grill, of course, with it on the plugged into poked into a piece of your meat in at the grill grate, and this one is gives you your reading for what it is at the barbecue and for the actual meat itself. And to program this thing, I believe this is your barbecue side and this is the food side. And the barbecue side deals with everything from your temperature, setting alarms, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not that, I just got it here. Really, actually, I had it for a couple of weeks, just start playing with it. But you can set the low and the high temperature that you want your grill to be at, and the lowest low that it'll go is 175. So that would be fine for me. I think the temperature gauge doesn't start reading on most thermostats to around 150 anyway. So that's that's good for me. And as a matter of fact, if you wanted to change it, you just hold it down, I think, and then you can punch it up. So we'll go up to 200. While we're watching this, I wouldn't want to get past lower than 200. Then you hit mode, and then that accepts it. And then you set your high. 250 is what is marked as the high, and we'll want to save that. Sorry, that's your backlight. But so 250 is the high, 200 is the low. So we'll have that rocking and rolling for this cook. I want to get somewhere between 225, 230 for this, and it'll probably take about 4.5 hours in order to get this thing done. We'll get these chickens done. So, but again, this thing seems like it's pretty good. We got an upstairs here, and taking it upstairs got quite a little distance and walls and barriers, and it's a brick house. So we got quite a few barriers in between, and it's still red, right on the money. So when you can see the little red light beeping on the smaller unit, it's sending that signal out. So we'll keep you posted on this thing and tell you how it works. So we got it set up and still waiting here for the coals to get high. And as soon as they do, we'll dump those and get the pit up to temp and then take the chicken out. All right, guys, got the coals dumped. Kind of say I was impressed with that charcoal starter. Again, I'm a charcoal guy, a lighter fluid guy. So that actually went fairly quickly, and those coals were burning, steaming hot. The handle was a little warmer than what I anticipated from what some other folks had used, but certainly not hot enough where you need gloves. At one point, it started flaming up on the top and the bottom. So, but it was still, it was warm, but it wasn't so warm where I had to have gloves. So kudos to that. Got the pit locked down, got the locks on it, and I've got my trusty little Thermo-Pro going here. As you can see, it's showing. I've got it hooked to the grate, and it's showing 235, and that's closer on this end to the firebox. The actual temperature showing on here is 60 to about 280, somewhere in that range. So, I never really trusted this thermostat. I'm always cautious of those things because you just never know. Sometimes you can spin them around a little bit and change the readings on them, but the temp is steady going up. The 97 is showing is for the probe. I hadn't stuck in the meat yet, but it's at 240 now, or 237. So I'm going to let it level off here and see 238 now. Let it level off here and kind of see where we end up at. And once we get the temp under control, we'll go ahead and set the meat out here and get it going. All right, guys, sitting back, relaxing a little bit here now. The chicken is out on the pit. It's been out there probably about, 30 minutes or so. And had to go back out. I got a couple of alarms on this Thermo-Pro. And I tell you some things I really like about this. And it certainly shows some of the user error on my part. You can see the temperature here. The temperature at the top is the temperature of the meat, and the temperature at the bottom is the temperature of the pit. So I'm holding steady around 234, 235. It's been that way for quite some time. So haven't added or done anything to it, and it's been pretty steady. And one thing that I did change, one of the alarms that I got was that, about the temperature being too high. I think it was too high or too low. It was too low. And what I did to correct that, and this is certainly my fault on this, there's a clip that goes on the grate that you put your meat on. when you clip that to that, that's really just to kind of hold the gauge in place. Make sure that you slide the probe to where it's actually touching the grate. I think mine had missed it a little bit, which was giving me some inconsistent readings. But after I fixed that, I haven't had any problems. I also moved the probe that I had closer to the firebox. I got two whole chickens that are cut up, and I got it on the piece that's second away from the firebox itself. That way, all that heat that's coming from that firebox, it could potentially give you a false reading for that. So I wouldn't recommend probing the first piece of meat that's closest to the firebox. The second one seems like it's doing fine. The temperature's going up normally like it should. And again, we're at 86 degrees for the meat. We're trying to get around 160, 165, somewhere in that range is what I'm looking for. Also, guys, I'm not going to have to open this thing up a whole bunch either. Unless it's just to regulate the heat for some kind of way. Because you remember, I put that pan of apple juice and the Cajun seasonings at the bottom, and that's going to help me with my moisture. So instead of spritzing it, I'm going to just let that kind of rock and roll and do itself. And actually, I thought about doing this because I forgot to get me a spray bottle, a fresh one, when I was at the store. So I don't have a spray bottle here with me, at least not one that's unmarked where I know what was in it. So I'm just going to use that to kind of regulate my moisture and keep the chicken moist. It was easy. They seem to be pretty moist to start with, but leaving that top down on them and just kind of monitoring the temp is going to be great. So feel good, guys. This thing is working out great. Really glad that I purchased it, and looking forward to seeing what this meat is going to look like. Just having it cook and being able to leave it alone. So I get around, I don't know, 110, 120 or so. I think I'll go out and probably pop the lid, just take a look just to be nosy and kind of see where we are. But as long as the temperature's holding, it looks like it's holding fine right now, just about where I want it to be, then I think that we're going to be fine on this one. So be checking back in with you guys next time. We'll take a look at that chicken and see how it's doing. All right, guys. Probably about 2.5, 3 hours into the cook. And the beeping that you hear in the background is little Thermo-Pro. I want you guys to actually hear this thing where I set my high and low temperature, set my low for 200, and when I open up the lid, of course, it lets all your heat out. So I apologize for the beeping if it's a little irritating. But I want you guys to take a look at this chicken. Nice, beautiful brown color on it. You can see some of the pan juice drippings are the apple juice is holding up well, getting a real good color on this. I'm only using apple wood on this thing. And you see the firebox is going where I just stuck a piece of my apple in there. So probe it at 132 in the breast where I got the probe at, which is still a little further away from the one closest to the firebox, and I'll check it shortly. But just want to give you guys a peek and kind of see where we are. Looking good, and be checking back in with you guys shortly. Here is the end result. Chicken came out beautiful, nice color, seasoning stuck to it very well. Very well pleased with everything here. Just to conclude real quick, guys, love the Thermo-Pro. Highly recommend this thing. Really made the cook a lot easier. And there are a few other things. I got a heat plate that I'll be using on the next cook to kind of even out some of that temperature that we talked about. And I love the chimney starter as well. That really worked very, very well. So had a great cook on this one, guys. Again, look forward to putting out more videos for you guys to look. Love your suggestions and your comments. Good, bad, and different. I always respond when I see them. So don't be afraid to leave one. And subscribe. We certainly want to build an audience doing this, and if nothing else, to help each other. I'm certainly no pro by any means. I'm just a guy who loves to cook and to practice and show everybody those things that I've learned. So enjoyed it, guys. Until the next time, get you a Thermo-Pro, get your chimney starter. Loving the Oklahoma Joe with the modifications in it, and we'll see you guys on the next cook.